I think forgiveness is one of the hardest things to do. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, thanks for joining me. If this is not your first time, welcome back. So let's get into why I really started this channel. I wanted to make Christian content. You know, with so much going on in the world, it's easy to get weighed down with all the stress and the heartache, just everything that goes on. And we need to have that daily spiritual connection with God. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have that connection with God, everything, I believe, everything else in your life just goes wrong. Nothing ever goes right when you don't start your day off with God. And not only start your day, but continue your day with Him, having Him with you every day, everything that you do in life, every aspect of your life, if that's at home, your job, everything. When you don't have God as that main foundation, I feel like nothing else is going to go right. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start this channel, because I wanted to just fill YouTube up, and not only YouTube, but this whole social media thing with God, because we need Him. In this world that we live in now, y'all know this world is crazy with everything going on. And if you don't have that foundation, it's going to be tough. And life can be tough. Life can be challenging. And it becomes really challenging when He is not at the forefront of your life. So that's the whole point of why I wanted to do this, just to have some type of encouragement. I wanted to address real struggles that we deal with. Because I feel like if I deal with things on a daily basis, then you all deal with things on a daily basis too. And in order to get through these things, God has to be the focal point in your life. And I want to build a community here on YouTube that when you're having a bad day, or if something's bothering you, or if you're just feeling down, you can come to my channel and get some type of encouragement. You can get inspired to do better, to try to reach your goals. And then also that we can encourage one another through the comments. Y'all comment on things that we've talked about. Talk about your experiences, things that you probably dealt with on a particular topic. And then we can grow together. We can grow this community together to be something that's more than just coming on here and watching me talk or things like that, but we can interact with one another and engage on things. Hey, I've been through this. This is how I dealt with it. Or I appreciate you talking about this because I've been dealing with this for a long time and didn't really know how to navigate through that. So the whole point of doing this is just building a community of believers, a community of people that have the same minds, that want to start embracing God more in their lives. Because I honestly believe that if we include God in everything we do, you'll see a difference in not only your life, but people around you. But it's when we shy away from God and when we try to do things on our own, that's when I feel like things don't go the way that they need to go. And you know what I think one of the biggest challenges is that we face is forgiveness. I think forgiveness is one of the hardest things to do, because most of the time the person that you need to forgive is somebody that's close to you, somebody that loves you, or that they say they love you, or that you love them. You have some type of relationship with them and they've done you wrong. And we've all been there, right? We've all been there. We've been in situations where loved ones, family members, people in our relationships have done us wrong. And then there's that moment that we have to forgive them. But forgiveness is tough, right? Because you don't want to forgive that person because you want them to feel the pain that you're feeling. You want them to know that, hey, you hurt me and you need to understand that you hurt me. So we hold on to unforgiveness, or we hold on to that not wanting to forgive them because we want them to feel that same pain that we do. But you know what ends up happening? We're the ones that end up getting hurt most of the time. Because let's face it, they've gone on, moved on, living their lives, enjoying everything, but we're the ones that are holding on to this. And we think that they're the ones that are hurting, but ultimately it's us. We're the ones that are hurting inside because we want them to feel the pain that we're feeling so much that we lock ourselves in this room. We back ourselves into this corner because we were like, I'm not going to do anything, or I'm not going to go nowhere because they've hurt me. They've hurt me so bad and we can't move on. We can't enjoy life because of the hurt that they done to us. And yet they're out living their best life, right? You know, you look out, you look on social media, you look on Facebook, wherever you do, you see that person just enjoying life, doing things. And you sit back, man, why are they able to do that? They know what they did to me. Sometimes they don't even know that they hurt you. And sometimes that's because we hadn't even told them. We haven't even given them the chance to reconcile what they've done to us because we've holding on to that. And we've locked ourselves in this closet, right? We've locked ourselves in our own spiritual jail that we can't let go. And we're the ones that are suffering while they're out doing their own thing. That's why I say forgiveness is a tough thing to do, but it's essential in our Christian walk. Not only in your Christian walk, but just in your daily lives. It's essential because once you finally let that go, once you finally forgive that person, you'll see how much freer you are. But the forgiveness isn't for them per se. Forgiveness is really for us. Because once we forgive them, we're able to break the chains that are holding us down. You see, when we don't forgive those people that do us wrong, they're not the ones that are hurting, we are. We put ourselves in a box. We stop doing things that we know that we should do. We stop living the life that we know that we should live. We stop doing things for ourselves because we're so consumed with them that we forget about ourselves because we want them to hurt so bad, but ultimately we're just hurting ourselves. And that's where that problem comes in. That's where that disconnect comes in. That's why I feel like forgiveness is such a essential part of our lives. I feel like once we really start forgiving people, once we really start letting things go and allowing God to do the work, we'll see a big change in our lives. But oftentimes, we fall into that trap of not wanting to forgive. We're the ones that end up suffering in the end. I'm gonna read y'all something. I'm gonna look on my screen because I got my notes right here. I should have had my Bible with me. Next time I have my Bible with me. How can I have a talk? How can I be in here talking to you guys and I don't even bring my Bible, right? And you would think I would know this scripture by heart, but I don't. So don't come for me because I don't know it. I got a bad memory. I got my notes over here. So I'm going to read this to y'all. Luke 6:27 and 28 says, "But I say to you who hear, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, and pray for those who spitefully use you." Now, this verse right here, when it says pray for those who spitefully use you, now that's a tough thing to do, but it's also a very important thing to do. It's hard to be mad at someone that you genuinely pray for. So when you pray for those people that hurt you, and when you pray for those people that have done you wrong, not only is that freeing you, but it's also freeing them. The more you pray for someone, it's hard to be upset with them because you're allowing God now to work in your life. And not only is he going to work in your life, but he's going to work in their life. When you pray for someone that has hurt you, it's tough to be mad at them. It's tough to hold a grudge with them. It's tough not to forgive them because once you pray about it and genuinely pray about it and want that change, man, God is going to do something to your heart that you can't help but forgive them because you're going to understand that the freeing of that is not only going to help you, but it's going to bring you closer to God. It's not only going to free them, but it's going to free you. It's going to free you up from all of that hurt and all of that pain that you've been experiencing for so long. And if you think about it, a lot of us have been holding on to specific things in our lives, specific things that we've gone through. And it's been years and years since those things happened, but we have held on to those things because they hurt us so bad and we haven't let go, we haven't forgiven. And then we wonder why our current lives aren't where they need to be. You'll be amazed at how situations in our past that we haven't forgiven, that we've pushed into the back of our mind that we want to forget, how those things affect us as we've got older, how they reflect the relationships we're in, how they affect our marriages, how they affect how we deal with our children. I can think of many times in my past, or I can think of a specific situation in my past that really hurt me when I was younger. And I held on to that for a long time, not knowing that holding on to that was going to affect me now and affect me how I raise my kids and affect me even in my marriage. So you have to understand that letting go and forgiving people of what they've done, that helps you to move on to be a better person. Because now you can finally let that burden go and you can start living life the way you want to. Because the more you hold on to things, the weight only gets heavier. The more you hold on to it, you're just going to get heavier and eventually you're going to fail. Eventually you're going to break and you're going to get into this negative space in your life. But had you just let it go and let God, as they say, you would realize that there's a change in your life that you never thought you would have had because you was holding on to these things. Forgiveness is tough. Forgiveness is one of the hardest things I think that we can do as Christians, but it's also one of the most beneficial things that we can do. Because the moment that we let go of things and allow God to move and work in our lives, we're going to see an amazing change. And you're going to see a change in your life. The more I get into this, the more I want to just bring you into my life and just show you how I'm trying to include God in everything that I do. And I think that's very important in today's times, including God in everything that we do and being honest with ourselves. You know what? I think a lot of times with Christianity and just church and things in general, we get so wrapped up in that we lose sight on what's important. And I think we do that a lot. See, for me, I'm all about being genuine about my walk with Christ. I want to be genuine and be real because I feel like that's the only way that we can grow. Being real about struggles that you may be in, be real about things that you're going through, because that's the only way that you can help somebody else get through it. Because if they saw that you got through it, then they know they have the strength and the courage to get through it because they saw you do it. So if I said something today that has inspired you or just something to encourage you, man, please hit the like button, comment down below. Let me know if you've been dealing with not being able to forgive. Let me know if you've dealt with these in the past. Also, let me know how you managed that. How did you get through it? Let's build this community together so we can encourage one another to continue to walk in the way that God wants us to live. Now that's navigating through life with God. Stay blessed.